What's up, everybody? Welcome to Moneyline Media, the NFL recap show. Week 13 is in the books. The Thanksgiving Day Massacre is
That's
in
a
the books.
great way to put it. Great way
We
to
are
put it.
prepped. We're ready. We're loaded. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I got a couple
lot.
players I have to report.
I know you do. I know you do. So I guess we start off with the first Thanksgiving game. The Texans they didn't have turkey for Thanksgiving. They had lions.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this
It's not
game.
illegal to coach a lion, but
Yeah, it is. It is not literally had lions.
they had Matt. They had Matt Patricia for lunch, which, by the way, turns out Matt Patricia in a cannibalistic world can feed a family of 30.
I believe it. Yeah, I don't hate Matt Patricia. I know a lot of people thought he was like terrible, and he was, but I think he should get another job as a defensive coordinator. I mean, he's a great defensive coordinator. But yeah, let's get to this. Texans defense.
Texans defense.
That's something to talk about because it wasn't something that was, that good.
Yeah, I think we all had the over in this game.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Right. I mean,
Texans played better defense, and J.J. Watt with a pick six in this game.
Big for J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming.
No.
J.J. Watt's not really a pick six type of player.
He's not.
Maybe a fumble return.
Yeah.
Great game for the Texans. Watson didn't even have to do that much in this game. I mean, great field position was every time.
but he still had 318 yards.
Yeah, on 17 completions.
Completions, 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Obviously, terrible news for them. Will Fuller, who had 171 yards and 2 touchdowns, is out for the rest of the year, essentially ending their season. Terrible. Good game for. Hey, big game for Adrian Peterson too. 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Yes. Got it.
Yes, and it was. I'll tell you this: it was a little upsetting to watch it because you're watching that. And I hate to use this as a comparison, but they use this as like a medical. I don't remember the term of it, but there's a term when somebody who is on their deathbed and they got like this last like spark of energy.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And I'm not like making fun of Adrian Peterson, but this could be very well be the last year that we see Adrian Peterson. So it's like we're seeing.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so. I think if Frank Gore has been able to find a job for these past 3 years, I think Adrian Peterson's going to have.
I don't think it has anything to do with finding a job.
Oh, you think he's done?
Yeah.
You think he's done? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
His last flash of brilliance.
Yeah.
Made $1 billion in the NFL. It was great to watch, but at the same time, it's like watching Larry Fitzgerald right now. It's like if it's not the last year, you know that this is their last brilliant year.
Right. Yeah. Last year that they're productive. You're right.
So TJ, great to watch. And Matt Stafford, by the way, he just continues to light it up. He did have the 1 pick six. He threw a touchdown, 295 yards, 28 completions. He deserves so much better.
He does. They ruined him.
Yeah.
But they give him a great target in Hawkinson. Kid's legit. Kid's gonna be good.
He is legit.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. But yeah, they ruined Matt Stafford. Good game for the Texans. Not a bad game for the Lions offense, but defensively, 41 points to the Texans, who were kind of struggling. Good game back for Deshaun Watson too. Good game back.
He needed that. He really did.
He did. And
what he's capable of, and that's what he's capable of.
Right. He's totally capable of this. He just needed. Well, I thought they were stupid for not trading Will Fuller. Now, obviously, hindsight, they are. But like in this game,
DeAndre Hopkins.
Right, but in this game, I was thinking PEDs found. Yes. I was like, this guy's legit. He's legit. Could you imagine if they did end up trading him to the Packers? The Packers would be amazing, even better than they are.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. Unfortunately, PEDs did him in, but good game for the Texans. Great game for Deshaun Watson. He didn't have to do much. Speaking of great games, we got to move on to Washington Cowboys. This was a game I listened back because
Great games.
Well, I was going to talk about Antonio Gibson.
Oh! I thought you meant great.
Yeah, no, not great football game. Sorry, I was talking about having a great game. Sorry, Antonio Gibson, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, incredible.
5 catches too for 21 yards.
Good player. Out of that American Conference.
Mm.
You know how I feel about my American Conference boys.
I know.
But yeah, absolute slaughter fest on the Cowboys. Cowboys, you know what the thing is? The Cowboys showed light in that Vikings game, and people were like, all right, you got a shot. They have a shot. You know,
Right.
Andy Dalton's kind of back to form. Their defense is looking good. I know that's what you thought because I listened back. Now I listen back because I have to remind you when you don't have teams like that Rams game. And I texted you about this, and you're like, no. I definitely called the Rams. Like, definitely got the Rams.
I say my bets on the show, and then on Sunday morning,
you change them.
It's something different.
Yeah, because you were like, the Rams are going to get crushed. Jared Goff can't throw a pass. The Rams-Buccaneers game, which he played incredible, and you were wrong, but you claimed you were right. So now I'm listening back. You had the Cowboys. And I get why you had the Cowboys because Washington isn't great. Alex Smith, 149 yards, and he won the game.
With 41 points.
41 points, right.
They had some decent field positioning in this game.
I think they did, yeah. And, Antonio Gibson, 115 yards.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns. And what's that other, the Messick, JD? Their other running back had a pretty good game, too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Let me check it out.
They ran the ball all over the place on the Cowboys.
They did. And you could. J.D. McKiss. Oh, no, he didn't have a good game. I thought it was, Peyton Barber, 57 yards. But he had a couple, he had two receptions, 21 yards. Peyton Barber, yeah, that's the guy's name.
God, Lord, he's still in the league?
Yeah. He is still in the league.
Jesus, Murphy.
And playing well. He had 57, like I said, he had 57 yards.
All right.
By the way, this Washington team relies a lot on their running backs.
Yeah, well, you have to.
No, I mean even like to be receivers, which is good. I think that's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the Gibson had 5 catches in the backfield.
Right. I mean, other than McLaurin, it was Gibson and J.D. McKissick, whatever his name is, that really they had the second and third most yards.
Yes.
Amari Cooper went off too, 112 yards.
Mm.
And I got to tell you, I think you're 100%. Like, I gave you a hard time about the Ezekiel Elliott thing, which I know is leading you into your rant.
Segue.
But I got to be honest with you. I'm agreeing with you. Though Tony Pollard didn't have a great game.
No, he didn't. He did not have.
But with that being said, Ezekiel Elliott kind of I'm not saying I'm usually a defender of people that you go. I'm usually just a defender in general, but I'm especially a defender if you go after a guy that I think is kind of decent. Mm-hmm. Ezekiel Elliott's got to get his head out of his ass. He's got to become the leader of this team, and he's not. And I think that shows so much that when the going gets tough, like this is a guy who's your main leader is Dak Prescott, an amazing leader.
That's without a doubt now.
Well, right, and I know you weren't the biggest fan of Dak Prescott. I know that I've always liked Dak Prescott. I think that he's a good player. I think it's hard not to come around on him when you see his impact because let's be honest, they got 3 top 35, let's go top 35, maybe top 50 receivers on their team.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb's going to be great.
Yep.
Amari Cooper can go off, as we've seen. He has 112 yards. Michael Gallup is another impressive guy. So you have these 3, I'm going to say top 50 wide receivers on your team. And that's not, a normal occurrence, I would say.
Right.
With 3 top, probably 35. They're probably top 35.
Yeah, I would give you that.
Top and apparently one of the best running backs in the league. I think one of the best backup running backs in the league. And here you guys are, like freaking.
Elliott a backup now? Jeez.
But no, I think that it shows how much he means to the team.
Well,
and it might actually show a little bit about Jason Garrett too. A little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll give you this. Ezekiel Elliott. The reason why Zeke is part of the reason why I came around on Dak Prescott.
Right.
Because I always thought Dak Prescott was mediocre and just hid behind Ezekiel Elliott.
Good offensive line.
And I turned to find out it was the other way around the whole time.
Right. Because they have no one to worry about now. I mean, Dak, when you look at it, Andy Dalton has been running better than I've ever seen him run. He's been actually legit running. They don't really have to worry about that run threat anymore. The fake and then the run. Dak Prescott was very versatile.
Yeah.
And the reason why Dallas was struggling at the beginning of the season was because of their defense.
Yeah, they were putting up 30 points.
30 points. Yep, exactly. So at what point are you going to be like, all right, baby, we invested all this money into all these people who are not doing their jobs, and we don't invest this money into this guy. He gets injured. I hope he doesn't get screwed. I think he might get screwed a little bit, but I don't know if this helps him, like them absolutely mailing it. I mean, against Washington, I'm giving it to Ron Rivera, though. I think that he's foolish for not playing Dwayne Haskins. I think that we can agree on that.
Maybe not.
I think he's foolish for not playing Dwayne Haskins. However, I think the culture that he's building there, that defense looks good.
Mm-hmm.
They just so you know, they should not win the NFC East for them, not for anyone else. For them.
Yeah.
And they can win it, but they shouldn't.
I agree.
Because I think the more you build up that team's going to be the team in the NFC East for years to come. No offense. The Giants and them are going to have good battles with their young teams. I'm not
this. Washington will never be the team.
I don't know. With Ron Rivera, I think Ron Rivera is one of the most underrated coaches in the league right now.
I don't think he's coaching Washington in 2 years.
What, you think he's going to get another job?
Yeah.
You think he's going to get?
Nobody wants to coach in Washington.
I thought he would be great with the Giants, but he's doing a great job. I mean, and I don't know because they got a lot of nice young pieces. Yeah, they have a lot of nice young pieces.
I think Ron Rivera's at a point in his career where he wants to win.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but those teams. But you have to understand, those teams that are winning aren't giving up their. They're not giving up their coaches. What team that's winning is going to give up their coach?
Patriots.
Out of your mind. Bill's going to be there a long time. Don't you worry about it. But listen, Antonio Gibson playing great. These running backs, I know we talk a lot about this rookie wide receiver class. These rookie running backs are pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. This great offensive class. Great class. Great rookie class.
Rookie running backs. Now, I think this year is different. But rookie running backs generally play good. Sophomore running backs, Ezekiel Elliott-esque, second, third, fourth year in the league start to tail off. The great ones
keep it going. You're right.
But a lot of these rookies are always explosive. I mean, I remember the guy from the Cardinals a couple years ago, David
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Was great. And the guy on the Bears as well.
Cohen?
No. The same year that David Johnson.
Forte? Was it Forte? Matt Forte?
Yeah. Was it Forte? No, I think Forte was a little bit older.
I think you're thinking about Cohen. No. Oh, God. I know who you're thinking about.
All I know is he won my fantasy team the championship.
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know his name. Yeah. But, yeah, no, you're right.
In the league, you can be a spark. Nobody knows how to tackle you yet.
Yeah. No, you're right. All right, next up we got the Raiders Falcons. Oh, you
Ezekiel Elliott,
go
10
ahead.
carries, 32 yards. Absolute garbage. Garbage.
Okay.
That's terrible. So
That is
remember,
pretty bad.
you heard it here first when I said that Ezekiel Elliott was a bust.
All right, now can I move on to the Raiders Falcons?
Yeah, what's good about that prediction though is that you can go back into any of these NFL recaps and I say the same thing every episode.
You do. You always say it. Raiders Falcons. I had thought the Raiders are gonna crush the Falcons. Falcons are a confusing freaking team, but they win, and Matt Ryan only has 185 yards. That is something crazy to say.
I don't want to talk about this game because the Raiders cost me hundreds of dollars hundreds of Snickers bars.
Yeah, there we go.
In one wager.
Jesus.
Well, because
who?
I had them in 2 or 3 separate teasers, minus 2.5 points.
Right.
I had them at plus 2.5 because of the teaser. So with the 6 points. I had them at plus 2.5. How the hell do you lose
43 to 6.
You kept it close with the
43 to 6.
You go into Atlanta territory to the Big Bird area?
Yeah. Defense played incredible, by the way.
Come on.
Their biggest
They really did.
Defense played incredible.
The Raiders suck. So
and when they're confused. It's not even that they suck. It's just there's a couple of these teams that are like, I'm confusing.
They're like the Packers. I never know when to bet them.
Yeah. No, I disagree with that. I think the Packers are.
The Packers haven't covered the spread like once this year.
What are you talking about?
They're 2-7.
Their last game they covered the spread.
For the 3rd time this year.
Okay. Well.
Out of 13 games.
Well, yeah, but Raiders. I didn't realize Nathan Peterman took over one time with the Raiders. I didn't watch the game. But I'm looking at these stats right now, and that's freaking pretty crazy that Matt Ryan only had 185 yards, and they win.
Oh, I do apologize. The Packers are 7-4 against.
Derek Carr had 3 fumbles. Jesus. To the Falcons? Falcons have like one of the worst front lines in the league.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't remember.
Derek Carr thinks he must think like I got my job. We're 6-5 or 6-4 at the time. I'm heading into Atlanta. Easy win.
Really, no one impressed me. Calvin Ridley, 6 catches, 50 yards, touchdown. But that was about it. That is
about it. No, you're right. That's about it. And great defense by Atlanta. For Atlanta, though, I like Atlanta. I really want to see Matty Ice win the ring, but it's not looking that way.
It would be fantastic.
It would be incredible. It would be incredible.
Good guy.
He's a good guy. I think that he's one of the most underrated guys because of his I think that people, because he choked. But
yeah.
That happens. Hold on, my computer's acting up to get the next game.
Computer's acting up. Looking like a fool with your computer.
Computer acting up. I gotta follow my. All right, next up we got Chargers. Bills win 27-17. They covered the spread. Most importantly, Justin Herbert another over 300 game.
Real deal.
He is the real deal. 1 interception though. Josh Allen 157 yards. This might be the lowest.
Was that a late game interception though? Was that a late in the 4th interception?
I think it was. I think it was.
That makes sense. So those interceptions I like to wipe off because you probably had to chalk one up on 4th and 36.
But defense played pretty good. I don't know. Josh Allen 157 yards. This might be the lowest yardage I've seen from like a lot of these quarterbacks. I mean, Josh Allen, it's incredible. 157 yards. That's it, and you guys win. All right.
I have 2 stats down here from the Chargers. I don't have any from the Bills. I didn't put anything down for the Bills.
Right. Right, so you would have thought the Chargers won the game. But,
Right. I mean, Austin Eckler had a great game, by the way.
yeah. I love, you know how I feel about receiving running backs. I think that they are what makes your team better. If you, like, Los Angeles Chargers, they got to get a couple defenders.
Yeah.
They're competing. They're getting a wild card position. If they get a couple, if they have a couple, a little bit better defense, they have a wild card position.
True.
So that's all they need. They're right there. I just hope that Justin Herbert doesn't have a sophomore slump. But yeah, it was Tre'Davious White's fourth quarter interception set up Tyler Bass's 43-yard field goal. So yeah, Justin Herbert's looking legit.
Yeah, he really is.
Austin Eckler, love him. Love Austin Eckler. Having Eckler back is great for them.
Couple more pieces on that Chargers team, and they're dangerous next year.
Very dangerous. I think that he could use. Actually, Mike Williams, I think, is a great number 2 wide receiver. Hunter Henry, really good tight end. Austin Eckler, and they got a couple of really good running backs that could also receive on that team. I think it's mostly defense. I think you got to improve your secondary.
It is.
The secondary.
You knew the Chargers' offense was going to struggle this game because of the fact that they're West Coast going to East Coast. Right. So you knew they were going to be sluggish. You knew they weren't going to go, but they had a decent game.
If you look just purely at the numbers and not at the score, they win.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
Listen, the game comes down to who falls in the end zone more times.
Yeah, exactly. Justin Herbert, incredible though. I mean, I say it all the time. I know James doesn't know what this word is, but I was wrong about him. I was wrong.
But who was right?
I don't know. You did not think that he was going to be a star, I don't think. You didn't say.
You better go back.
I will go back, but I know for sure I trashed him.
What team do I like in college football?
I trashed him. LSU.
What team do I go for in the Pac-12?
I don't know, dude. You have a different team every minute.
The Big O. Quack, 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 quack. I'll have I have an Oregon sweatshirt.
You have, but that doesn't mean anything to me because you have every team sweatshirt.
I fell in love with Oregon when I first started getting into football when Marcus Mariota was the quarterback there.
I love Marcus Mariota. Love
in college, yes. In the NFL,
I love him. Everyone has a bad. Sometimes it happens. Next up, we got Giants barely, and I mean barely, escaping the beaten up Bengals.
We didn't have a quarterback.
You had a quarterback for what, 3/4 of the game? He got injured in the third quarter, didn't he?
We were winning by more than that when he came out.
No, you're right. You are right. Gallman looks good though. Speaking of good backup, Wayne Gallman.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no. I've always listened. Gallman was he was a good running back with Clemson. When the Giants got him, he was a good rookie running back. And then the next year we got Barkley, so you couldn't find a spot for him to get touches.
You're right.
Running back.
No, he is. Evan Ingram, 6 receptions, 129 yards. Okay.
Well, I don't know because listen, I'm going to give you this. Evan Ingram is either coming into his own or he's going through this stretch of the season where he has 3 or 4 good games in a row. So I want to see how this lasts the rest of the year because Evan Ingram has showed signs of brilliance, but we got to see how it goes.
Do you think that he saved his job?
Saved his job? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just saying because that
his job was in question.
No. I mean like potential trades in the off season.
Well, I think if anything that would get him traded.
Yeah.
So either he wants to be traded.
Right.
Or he wants to remain a Giant. He's playing up for one reason, but I think that he's starting to come into his own. This is that year now where you're really starting to figure things out. He's building up a rapport with Danny Jones. This is the thing. He went to a quarterback change too.
Yeah, he did.
It's on him. You're still going to have somebody throwing you the ball.
You're right.
129 yards off 6 catches is not.
No. That's good. Danny Jones, though, you a little bit worried?
No. Not concerned. I'm not concerned because today they reported that he missed practice today.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they wouldn't report
if he was on it. Yeah, you're right.
It was going to be multiple weeks or anything like that. They wouldn't report that.
But this is also kind of good for the Bengals, don't you think? Defense only giving up 19 points. I know they were winning by a lot more when he got out.
Yeah, I
This
agree.
is good news for the Bengals, who
Mhm.
Joey Burrow had a successful knee surgery, so we're pulling for him.
Yes.
He's
Awesome.
going to be a stud. I just, that Bengals team, I just think Andrew Luck every time I look at him, and I just can't help it. I can't. Great player, but it's the team
Yeah,
around you. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Next up, Titans Colts.
I think that Joe Burrow is a little bit more
He's.
masculine than Andrew Luck, but
Oh, I don't think so. I think Joe Burrow's a little bit smaller than Andrew Luck.
I don't know, something to do with height or weight.
No, no, I meant weight, not height.
It's the
But
size of the dog. I'm sorry, it's the size of the fight in the dog, Deirdre.
I know. We talked about this.
Andrew Luck got that back and ran right to the bank.
No, you're right. You're right. But Titans Colts. Titans are.
I had this game all messed up. I think either I had it messed up or I had it
I think
right.
you did. No, I think you had it messed up. I went with the Titans on this one, and I know I did.
Yeah.
Freaking 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry's a man. He's a man.
Yeah.
You better start respecting him. He said,
When did
"Oh, no, not you. I mean, just in general." And I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone
I'd be
disrespects him.
scared to. Just the thought that one
Yeah.
show up at my house.
178 yards, 3 touchdowns. AJ Brown, also legit. I know he doesn't get as much hype as DK Metcalf, but he's legit too. 4
Yeah.
receptions, 98 yards. Incredible. That Titans team, when they're on, they're on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's why they're gonna beat Kansas City in the playoffs.
Rushing yards. The real reason they won is because the rushing yards were down for Indianapolis.
That's why they're gonna beat Kansas City in the playoffs.
They're not going to beat Kansas City in the playoffs.
They're gonna beat Kansas City in the playoffs.
No. Time out. You picked the Colts and the Steelers, dude. Not the Colts and the Titans. Or man, not the Titans and the Steelers. You picked the Colts and the Steelers.
What are you talking about?
Remember our bet?
Which bet?
We made a bet, $50, 50 bottles of water, whatever, that you picked. I gave you 2 teams. I said if either of those 2 teams make the Super Bowl,
Okay.
you win the 50 bottles of water. And if any of the 2 teams, and if my one team, which is the Kansas City Chiefs, makes it to the Super Bowl, you owe me 50 big ones.
What does that have to do with?
Well, because you're saying the Titans, that's why they're going to beat Kansas City in the playoffs, but that was not one of your teams. I'm just telling you. Just reminding you. You picked the Colts and the Steelers.
I don't expect the Chiefs to get out of the first round. Well, second round because they'll probably get the bye. Oh no, they probably won't get the bye actually. First round.
Okay.
Where the Titans eliminate them in a 53-46 victory.
Okay. We'll see. But yeah, good game for Titans. Great game for Derrick Henry. Learning the Colts' weakness. If you stop their run, you're gonna win.
Well, yeah. See, the thing that's why I like the Titans because they're going to control the ball.
Right. They'll have it for majority of the game.
Can't stop the run to save their life.
Right. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But the problem with the Titans are they're so confusing what team you're gonna get.
Yes.
There's a lot of those. The Raiders are like that too. You don't know what team you're gonna get. Philip Rivers did have 295 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. 24-42 with Indiana. But you do. I think Indiana's main goal next offseason is to get a quarterback that you can build with. Because they got all the pieces. You know what I mean? They need another wide receiver too.
Yes, that would definitely help out.
They need another wide receiver too. They gotta look at the market. But all right, next up, we got the Panthers and the Vikings. Vikings pull off a come from behind victory. There we go.
What the hell's going on with that, Gina?
I don't know. I don't know, James. It's been that type of week. Come from behind victory over the Minnesota Vikings. 307 yards for Kirk Cousins.
Captain Kirk.
I mean,
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
No. And that's why the Vikings won the game.
And that's why the Vikings won the game. You're right. But Carolina looked pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
They did look good. They're right on that cusp there. They're right up at Cardinals last year, which is like what I do with these other teams, like these teams. Like I called the Bengals similar to the Cardinals last year. I call the Giants similar to the Cardinals last year, where they play everyone close. They just don't have that win. You know what I mean?
The Giants differential, I think, is insane this year.
Yeah. No. I agree.
Well,
But
I don't like this Seahawks. We'll talk about that later.
yeah, we'll talk about Seahawks. I got beat. Yeah. Next up, we got the Cardinals versus the Patriots. Patriots pull up an upset of the year maybe, beating the Cardinals.
Was it really?
Kyler Murray played awful.
He did. And again, I think this is a West Coast traveling to East Coast situation.
Yeah.
But there's no more excuse for this crap.
Yeah. You gotta do it.
I'm getting really, really, really sick and tired of saying, "Oh, it's the West Coast traveling to East Coast." Like, I flew to Seattle.
Oh God.
Now I know it's different.
Yeah, you went to drink and watch baseball.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I flew to Seattle, got hammered until 2 a.m. Seattle time, and I was fine.
Well, you're a professional, James.
That's true. Good point.
But yeah, no.
But so are they, and they get paid more than me.
Much more. Cardinals didn't look good. This is not the Cardinals team that we've seen in the past couple offense that we've seen in the past couple weeks. And I don't think the Pats defense. I mean, the Pats defense is good, but they're not like as good as they've been in the past 10 years.
Yeah, to give up. I mean, to put up 17 points against this current Patriots Day defense.
Yeah, with all the weapons you got. Come on.
And you're playing down. Again, I think the Cardinals are starting to become one of these teams that they play up and play down.
Yep.
By
the way, Cam Newton didn't have a good game either, but they won. 84 yards.
9 completions for 84 yards. How do you win a game like that?
I don't know. Your defense plays well.
Really, really good field position.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up, another AFC East team with the Dolphins crushing the Jets 20-3. You guys can listen to my after show. I believe I posted it of the Jets game. I believe I posted it. I'm not sure if I did. I gotta double check. If not, don't worry about it.
Check it.
That was the week before.
That was before the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't know if I could, but basically, I'll just give a synopsis of what I said because I am a Jets fan. Everything that I said was wrong last week was right this week. Their defense played great. Their defense played great. Their secondary, Bryce Hall is really coming into his own. I love that Ashton Davis. I love him. He's going to be legit in this league. Friggin' track star. He's going to be incredible. And our offense was atrocious. So everything that I said last week, which was the offense is great. I'm so excited to see where this offense goes. If Joe Flacco can do it with this offense, anyone can do it with this offense. Not anyone. Sammy D came back, played like crap. And I was a Sammy D supporter. I have 3 Sammy D jerseys. They're all going in the trash. They're all going in the trash.
So what you're saying is that you're going to put those jerseys inside of Sam Darnold?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's us. I don't know if it's just the pairing. He's not meant for the Jets anymore. He's not. It's time. I hate to say let's tank because I think that's such a cop out and such a bullshit. You should always want your team to win, and I will continue to root for them to win. But I won't be. I wouldn't be upset if they didn't win.
Yeah. The Jets do need to tank because they need to start. They need to light that whole team on fire.
By the way, speaking of good young teams, Jets got a great young team. We have some really good pieces. Good. What are you saying? We don't have good pieces?
Who?
Mims.
I don't know. I'm saying, what team are you talking about? I assume the Jets now.
Oh, the Jets. Yeah. I'm saying
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying
they
that
do have it. Yes.
they have
That's
some
what
really
scares
good.
me. That's what scares me because I got a feeling they're going to win 2 games before the year's over.
I mean, Williams is really coming into his own. If we trade him, we're fucking morons.
Well,
We
review
are.
your history.
Exactly. Mims looks good. I'm worried about Becton, but he looks good.
I'm not worried about Becton.
I'm worried about his. He came out in a game, right? His chest hurt. He's a little too big. That's the problem. Like, you know what I mean? He's too big.
Get him on
And
the
that's
court once a week.
right, exactly. So I just get nervous about that. Dolphins defense, you did look. Dolphins defense looked good, but I mean, I'm not taking this as a win for like they're. I think that
Listen,
it's
I'm gonna start calling Sam Toucan Sam over there.
yeah. If it was against with Flacco, I'd be like, all right, this is a little bit more impressive because he's been running through people. But this isn't that impressive. But hey, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, Ryan Fitzy. They win by 17. You got to be happy. Hopefully Tua comes back soon. I think that's your difference maker. I think you got to keep getting him in. I thought they were stupid for getting him out, and then I thought it was stupid. But it is what it is. They decided to go through it. They decided to try and go for the playoffs, which they might hit. They might. But good for them. Every win's a good win, as my dad says. Every win's a good win.
The main stat is the W in the
exactly. Win. Speaking of everyone's a good win, this comes to another win that I don't think is good. The Browns beat the Jaguars 27-25. Nick Chubb is a man. He is absolutely taking it to the hole like a freaking beast.
Nick Chubb's on fire. He's on fire.
Nick Chubb is incredible.
He's having a stretch. I mean, this year's been good, but for the past 3 or 4 weeks, he's just been blessed.
But he did this. I think he did this.
Everybody on the planet $1 billion.
He did this last. Oh yeah, I know. He did that last week though, like last season too, like where he went on these amazing stretches. By the way, James Robinson with the Jaguars, very impressed by him. Undrafted out of Illinois State, I believe, or was it Northern Illinois? I think it's Illinois State. Very impressive. I hope he continues this. What'd you say?
One of them. Who cares?
I care. I love the MAC. Northern Illinois. No, don't hate on the MAC. You know I love the MAC. I'm the non-power.
I like the good teams in the MAC.
Yeah, Northern Illinois. Hey, they've been playing teams close.
NIU, Edwardsville.
All right, whatever. Whatever. They're playing good. Mike Lennon, give it to him. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns against a pretty Browns defense that was heating up. Yes. Good for the man. Good for him.
Mike Lennon.
No turnovers. No turnovers for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's most important. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. If you protect the football, you're going to be in a lot of games.
You are. Also, pretty good news for Jaguars fans. They got a couple of nice offensive pieces. They got to improve that offensive line. I mean, the offense has to kind of be their main concern. I mean, everything has to be their main concern coming this offseason, but I believe they have the first most cap space. Second goes to the Jets. So should be excited to see these young teams. Browns, if they keep playing like this,
they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose. You can't play like that against good teams. You play like that against them. You can't.
See, the problem here is you can't keep costing bettors money because eventually it's going to turn on you.
Yeah.
Especially in Cleveland. Cleveland is a city of sports gambling.
I assume if any city you're in also is a city of sports gambling.
Any city I go to
becomes a city of sports gambling.
I make the laws.
You make the laws. Anyway, yeah. Look. Yeah, I got to keep you on track. But yeah, Jaguars good. Browns, like I said, everyone's a good win, and they are doing what they need to do. You need to beat bad teams to make it. You need to beat bad team.
The Jets.
We already talked about them. We don't need to keep talking about them.
That's true.
They suck.
I just like to bring it up.
They suck. But you know what the good news is? Tickets, unfortunately, this season it doesn't matter, and I don't know for the next 5 years if it's going to matter. The tickets are going to be down. Like ticket prices are going to be
I
down
would
eventually.
imagine so.
But
No, if Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets, the ticket prices will
yeah,
triple.
no, you're right. All right, next up we got another. No, not another. We're going to the NFC South and AFC West with the Saints, 31 points against the Broncos. Which
Yep.
can we just talk about? Hold on. Can we just talk about how the fuck do the Broncos have to play when they have no quarterbacks? But we spoon feed the Ravens.
Can I answer this one?
Yes.
Because Roger Goodell is a piece of trash. Protect the Ravens at all costs. It's
That's
like
his,
Rob
I get it.
Manfred
That's his moneymaker.
Jackson's.
That's his moneymaker.
Yeah.
That's his moneymaker. Lamar Jackson's his moneymaker.
No matter what, Deirdre. See, the only reason they played that game on Wednesday was because that was the NFL trying for the
Right.
Ravens to get better in that period of time, but they knew they had to play it that week. They had no choice. But they pushed it back as far as they can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you.
This is awful.
It
This
is awful. Also, shout out to the guy who was like, yeah, fine, I'll play quarterback. I haven't played quarterback in a while. I'm going 13 yards, 2 interceptions. I hope you guys run the whole time. But give him credit. Like, the poor guy. He's like, I switched.
The practice squad. His job is a salesman during the week.
I know. And he's like, all right, yeah, sure. Let me go to, like, let me play. And I'm going to put up the worst numbers ever. But, hey, at least I can tell my kids I play in the NFL.
Once in a lifetime chance to play in front of no people.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? People are going to talk about this game.
Who?
What do you mean? No. People talk about this game.
Listen, I mean, like, remember that time that guy that nobody ever heard of had to play?
No, because remember during the COVID season how every freaking quarterback on the Broncos had it, so they had to grab. So they had to go to Walmart and grab this guy.
That's sad. They tried to get the quarterback coach to play, and the NFL was like, "Nah."
Jesus.
It's really pathetic.
It really is. It really is. So, like, yeah, the Saints win. Again, a win you need to have. Taysom Hill had 78 yards. 2 touchdown runs again. Eventually, people are going to know what to do. But next up, we got 49ers versus the Rams. 49ers really screwed a lot of bettors here as they beat the Rams by 3. 23-20. Deebo Samuels, 133 yards. Jared Goff, after we talked about you all good last week, and we said, this guy's legit, it's hitting him. He realizes all these people are saying he's trash, he's not worth the money, and here he goes. He puts 300 yards up against the Buccaneers, who were like the favorite to win the Super Bowl at the start of the season. And here he goes. And then he goes against a depleted 49ers team. Like, their defense is absolutely crushed.
Yep.
And he gives 198 yards, 2 interceptions.
And now this week he realizes why people say he's trash.
And then it's like, dude, like, I win, and I was like, good for him. I was one of the people that called him trash.
Yeah.
I was one of the people. I said, this guy is awful. Why would you pay him all that money? Is it time to get a new quarterback? And then last week I was like, are we going to talk about the Rams as potential Super Bowl, NFC Super Bowl contenders? Could they potentially win the NFC? And you said, yeah. We were all like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too far to believe. They got a great. If Jared Goff is hitting, they're one of the best. They could be the best team in the league.
Yes.
And then, of course, comes out against the depleted. Like, San Francisco barely has enough players right now. They have got the injury bug, probably the worst.
Yep.
And I know we just talked about a team that had 85 quarterbacks on the COVID list, but not COVID list things, just complete and utter terrible injuries that keep happening. Ridiculous. He's got to go. He's got to play better. He did, but he can play better. That's, I think, the most frustrating thing is he shows us.
That aggravates me.
What'd you say?
That's what aggravates me. It's so much potential.
He does. He's got it. He's
But
got it.
that's also why the Rams need a running back.
Yeah.
He's a run option quarterback.
Akers is playing pretty decent though, and I like Malcolm Brown. I think they just got to figure it out. But yeah. I mean, Nick Mullins has more.
I don't think Sean McVay is that good.
You don't think Sean McVay is that good? See, we were just talking last week about how good we thought.
Terrible at game management.
I just think, you know what? If Jared Goff plays to his potential, they win. That's just it. It's not that he's terrible. It's not like a Mitch Trubisky where we're like, oh, nah, he's just terrible. It's not like a Carson Wentz where we're like, he's just terrible.
Yeah.
He's got that potential, and we've seen it. We've seen him light up. You know what I mean? I think that's the most frustrating thing. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's like I want to be sold on him, and then he just does this.
Yeah. All right, next up, we got Chiefs actually barely skating by against the Buccaneers. They beat the Buccaneers.
Like the game, though.
What'd you say?
I thought the score was a little, like...
It didn't show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had 462 yards. I feel like 200, like, most of them were in the first half.
Well, most of them went to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, 269 yards.
What a game. 13 catches.
3 touchdowns.
That was just every touchdown Mahomes threw.
Yeah.
Brady had 3 touchdowns.
He did. Only 3 less than what you thought he would the week before. He also had 2 interceptions, though.
Yes.
Not good.
Telling you, Tom Brady's not the same Tom Brady.
Well, I mean, we've said that since the beginning. Gronkowski, 106 yards. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, here's the problem. Bruce Arians' offense, and we've said this from the beginning, is a offense where you got to sling it and you got to sling it hard. Tom Brady's not that guy. He's not going to throw it 100 yards downfield or like 90 yards. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's just not. You can't have a fast guy run, and then, Tom Brady's going to get it to him. Tom Brady has made his living off, all right, 8 yards here, run 2 yards, 8 yards here, run 2 yards. That's how he's made his living. Bruce Arians' offense, and I think we both said this from the start, does not fit with the Tom Brady system. And I heard this crazy thing. Me and you were both into the sports radio, obviously, because that's what both of us are trying to make our way up, that we could, this could be our,
Our time.
Exactly. And we want to be there. But, like, I heard that, Bruce Arians might have to start looking for another job because they might bring in Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
He knows how to get the best out of Brady. Though I think Arians kind of like, fuck, I wish I had Jameis Winston now.
Right.
I think Jameis Winston does better with this team. People might say I'm crazy, but I think he does better with this team.
Yeah.
I do. Bruce Arians, we both love Jameis. We're both Jameis fans. Bruce Arians' offense is not meant for a 40-year-old guy who is accurate majority of the time. But he likes small. He likes to do the small passes, which I like. I think that's a good quality. I think that's how you can win football games. Bruce Arians likes to sling it out. And if you look at they showed the stats, you have more interceptions in a Bruce Arians offense than anyone else. It's just what happens. All right, next up.
I have to agree with you there, though. I think Jameis rocks this boat right to a division title.
Oh, I think he would. Because Breeze isn't what he used to be. The Falcons are having issues. Panthers aren't as good as we thought they might be. Exactly. It's just the way it is. Yep. All right, next up we got Seahawks. Live. We got Bears, Packers. Bears look pretty terrible.
The Bears look awful.
Bears look pretty terrible. No, but then I'm looking at this and it's like Trubisky had 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I understand. But the Packers defense, the Packers defense, not that good. And I didn't know that the Packers offense was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah. Well, the Bears' offense is terrible.
Bears defense is good, though, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the Packers offense had played incredible versus a really good Bears defense. So I think they missed. And I think that we learned this because I think that he's so underrated. A boy from up north. He went to Regina in Canada. Akeem Nicks. Him not being out there, I think, really affects them.
Big time effect.
Big time effect, and we saw that. And I think that Akeem Nicks, get ready to get him paid.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready to get him paid because you see the difference with that. He's such a leader, and that's what it is. Aaron Rodgers didn't need to do much, 211 yards, but he had 4 touchdowns, 41 points.
That's why I can't stand him.
Okay, because he didn't have to do much?
No, 211 yards, you throw 4 touchdown passes. Run the ball into the end zone.
Doesn't matter. It's what happens, dude. It worked. You're just such a hater. Anytime he does anything like if he went for 369 yards, if he went for 369 yards and had 0 touchdowns, you would have been like, oh, so what? The runner has to do all the work? He can't finish the job? That would be you, and you know it would be you.
He's padding his stats.
And you would know it would be you.
Nobody. If he had 369 yards and 2 touchdown passes, I would say he had like a 30-yard touchdown reception in there.
No. You would say, I'm saying that. Wait. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying if it was 369 yards, just say, and he had 0 touchdowns, you'd be like, oh, obviously the running backs had to finish it off because he couldn't finish it off.
No, I would say that he must have had 2 big touchdown passes. But when I see 211 and 4 touchdowns, I know he's throwing 1-yard dump-off touchdown passes.
Doesn't matter. Wins. Wins. That's all that matters. Bears are trash, though. Time for the Bears to look ahead to the draft. I don't know if I'd want them winning another game. Matt Nagy, sorry, buddy. Your time's probably up. Mitch Trubisky, sorry, buddy. Your time's probably up. David Montgomery, you might have saved your job with that 103 yards, but I'm not sure. Allen Robinson's gone. Like, he's not going to want to be there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be like, time for me to go to LA could use me. The Rams could use me.
Unless they get a good quarterback in the draft.
Hey, Vikings could use me. Even if they do, he's done, I think.
I don't know.
I think he's done.
Don't be surprised.
All right, next up we got Seahawks versus Eagles. Go ahead. I know you've got a rant on this.
Seahawks won by 6. You know what that's less than?
6.5.
Hail Mary Carson Wentz. I'm taking away the title from Aaron Rodgers for this segment. Hail Mary Carson Wentz. Off the hands. I don't even want to know the name. You know, I'm not going to speak their names into existence on this show. Off the hands of one man in green and into the hands of another man in green for a touchdown. And then, for no reason at all,
2-point conversion.
0 reason, no effect on the game, Doug Peterson decides to go for 2. Because his brain is so full of shit and he's concerned about where he's going to be coaching next, probably somewhere in the Australian Football League. If that's a thing, I'm pretty sure it is. Doug Peterson is the worst person. He is the Aaron Rodgers of coaching when it comes to gambling. Never go anywhere near their bets. They're going to blow it one way or another.
That's hysterical. I mean, it's hysterical. It's so freaking funny to me. I stayed away from that bet because I don't trust Seattle. That's my problem. I don't trust Seattle. I don't know. Yeah, Seattle I don't trust.
Seattle won the game.
they did win the game, but they didn't cover the spread. That's why I stay away from it.
They would have.
They would have, but they didn't. Exactly my point. You're just proving my point.
Here's the problem.
By the way, Eagles obviously look terrible. They always do. Russell Wilson didn't look that good. He didn't look that hot. But I'm a Russell Wilson fan.
West Coast offense.
Okay. Well, they end up winning. They take over full control of the West. It's a big game. Big game. Big game. All right, next up, we got the Ravens and the Steelers. I got a question for you now. You're this big. Obviously, you're not a Steelers fan. You're a Giants fan, but you're a big Steelers guy when it comes to. Oh yeah, they're the best team. Oh yeah, you're like those Steelers fans on TikTok. You're like, yeah, this team's the best. This is the best team I've ever seen. You do say that. You do say that. You do. You're like this team's the best. They're the best in the league right now.
They are.
After watching that game, you're gonna tell me that team's the best in the league.
What's their record?
They are 11-0. Oh,
You just said about Aaron Rodgers, the only stat that matters is the win.
you're right. You're right. You're right. And the win does matter. And these are good wins. But you think if they go up against a tougher team, you think that this team's gonna make it to the Super Bowl?
Who, the Steelers?
Yeah.
Yes.
More
Where-
importantly,
Have that game.
Trace McSorley, throw it on a dime.
Oh God.
Trace McSorley.
On an offensive pass interference.
Trace McSorley. Put it on a dime. Like, it didn't even try. It is a good song. It's a great song. I love that song.
I don't know who made it, but yeah, it's good.
Trace McSorley.
KSI. I'm going with KSI.
Trace McSorley. Throw it on. Benny Snell impressed me in the game. He's tough, man. Tough kid. Tough kid out of Kentucky.
University of Michigan.
Huh?
Western Kentucky University of Michigan. That's what I say when like these smaller conferences play and they have like 300 names for the team.
Well, Benny Snell's from Kentucky,
Like
which is a big conference. They're in the
Oh
SEC.
yeah. You know what I can't wait to look forward to watch this week? Kentucky play football.
Well, first off, when Benny Snell was on the team, they were a really good team. They were. That's the year with Josh Allen. The other Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know that.
Trace McSorley. Throw it on the
You
dime.
make a song about Benny Agbayani.
Huh?
You make a song about Benny Agbayani.
Okay, you do that.
I'm gonna do. See if I make it to
Trace McSorley.
the clout zone.
Cloud zone. Trace McSorley. Throw it on a dime.
Offensive interference.
Doesn't matter. Touchdown. Ravens looked pretty good. Ravens did. For Ravens having like 17 million people on COVID, and even though they tried.
They had 46 days to prepare for the game.
That's true, but they still looked good. Steelers did not impress me that much. I do like the Steelers. I want this to be known. Wait, time out. I want this to be known. I'm actually not I'm a Steelers fan because I'm a Jets fan, but I do root for the Steelers because I love Chase Claypool. I do love Juju Smith-Schuster. I love Benny Snell. I think James Conner's awesome. Not a big Benny fan. Ben Roethlisberger. What?
How many teams do you?
No, I root for the Jets, but I say like I wouldn't mind seeing, obviously, other than giving you $50 that I don't want to give you, I wouldn't mind seeing the Steelers win. There's like teams I would be like, oh no, I can't watch them win. Like Patriots, can't watch them win. Buccaneers, can't watch them win. There's gotta be other teams that I'm like, don't want to watch you win. No, that was pretty much it, I think. Bills, I wouldn't obviously want to see win. Like, but other than that, like I'd be cool with Ben getting his third. I'd be cool. I think it'd be awesome for James Conner to get a ring because I think that he's been through so much.
Yep.
And that's super duper important. But yeah, I don't mind that team. But I gotta tell you something about Chase Claypool, who I love, and Juju Smith-Schuster, who I love. Get off TikTok and work on your fucking hands.
Nah.
They can't. They had like concrete hands though. There was like a couple times it hit their hands, and I'm like, guys. Then they make good plays. They make good plays, but like,
Gotta stay on the top.
I get it. You gotta stay on the top. Gotta make your money. I like money. Um, I don't have any, but I like it. Um,
Once Chase
it's like
rookie contract is up, I don't think he'll be on TikTok anymore.
what'd you say?
Once Chase Claypool's rookie contract is over, I don't think he'll be on TikTok anymore.
No, I think he still will. I think that those guys are just exciting, and they're bringing a different like edge.
I think
to
Chase
NFL.
is more exciting than Juju. Juju's starting to get boring.
I like Juju. But yeah, good. I mean, it's a win's a win. They win. They're 11-0. Pretty much guaranteed at this point to make the playoffs.
So here's the thing that I got to bring up about this game. Everybody, all my betting friends, etc., they were all complaining to me about how the Steelers didn't cover the spread, and I said, "Well, you guys went against my advice. Why would you take the Steelers minus 10.5?
Yeah,
Division
stupid.
rivalry game.
Yeah.
NFL games aren't blowouts typically.
No, they're not.
I was like, it's a division rival game.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that. That's just stupid.
You got a 2-touchdown win? Come on.
No, that's stupidity. No, I agree with you.
Field goal, don't even do it.
Listen, I agree with you on that. I think it's stupid. I grabbed it at 4. I grabbed it at 4 before all the COVID cases hit. So I was fine. I was fine. Yeah, I had it at 4.
I had it at 4.5 in a teaser.
Yeah.
That I was okay with. And
No, I didn't. Mine wasn't even a teaser. I just had it.
Right. Yeah, I had to get it down from 10.5 to 4.5.
But again, I'm not like a degenerate like you. I bet like a quarter.
Degenerates win, Deirdre.
They do. They do win.
Go good with your name. Degenerate Deirdre.
Degenerate Deirdre. Yeah, I can't be a degenerate. Unfortunately, it's not in my blood. But yeah, no, good win for the Steelers, taking full control of that AFC. But that is the Chiefs coming knocking.
Run. Hold on. Stay tuned. Run. Oh, you suck.
What do you got?
I have over 67.5 longest touchdown.
Who was that? Louisiana Tech?
Either team. Either team. Yeah.
Nice.
And he ran it for like 67, 75. 67. It looked like he got 65 yards, but it wasn't a touchdown. It was out of the other end zone.
Gotcha.
Because he sucks.
Okay, he sucks. Too. Yeah. So good win for them. We'll be back after these short messages. Not really, because it's a different section, but we'll be back with our pile on.
Hydrated, healthy, happy.